Welcome to Energetic Perspectives, a sacred space where I share an energetic approach to very human experiences. I'm Erin and I've been fine-tuning my spiritual gifts after finally being open to shift out of feelings of darkness that once felt too heavy to step out of. This podcast is an opportunity for you to settle into transmissions from the Akashic Records and receive tangible tools that help you get into receiving mode of the abundant and joyful life I know we are all capable of tuning into. If you are ready to further step into your light while opening up to new ways of being, you are exactly where you're meant to be right now. Before we dive in, I invite you to ground into this space with me by taking 3 deep breaths to center and clear some energy. Close down the eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose and let it out the mouth. Deep breath in and let it all go. One more deep breath in through the nose and let it all out. I am so grateful that you are here with me in this moment. Let's get into the episode. Hello. Oh, every time I come back on here, my throat chakra is like, oh, there we are. Here we are. Sometimes it's hard for me to make the space, make the time to come on here, to be seen, to be heard. And a lot of the times I'm just living life. And that's a beautiful thing. I won't say that it isn't. And sometimes living life comes with being entrenched in it, being so caught up in the mind or so caught up in the mundane things that we forget there's so much magic and so much potential and so much that we are contributing into the world. And we let that fall away. This is not shaming in any way, shape, or form. I deeply honor the pause. I deeply honor the devotion to life that makes you not think about recording a podcast or being on your phone. And I also honor the deep work that comes with being someone who is an entrepreneur in this space, being someone who has a podcast. And it is a commitment. And it's a commitment that I sometimes let fall away as I'm moving around in life. And I don't think that's a bad thing. And I also think it's something that I look to shift. So here we are. And I wanted to share about a past life regression I just recently was walked through in my training to be a past life regressionist, which I am officially now in this moment. Since I last recorded, I also believe that I became a certified hypnotherapist, which was an 8-month program. And in New York, we call it a hypnosis practitioner due to different regulations on the word therapist. I have been in a deep place of learning. And I'm also in a deep place right now of coming back home to the fact that I have everything I need within and I don't need to constantly be taking in external noise. I've been in a lot of training programs recently and it's been beautiful for sure. And it's also been a lot. My Mondays are packed now because of a commitment I made and it's going to be over soon in my coaching certification, which I wanted to do just to get more subconscious tools to help clients, to help me But I'm really feeling the honoring of taking a step back from investments in myself in terms of courses and my business, and to really just lean in with what I already know. And I feel that I want to share this past life regression because it is a way to show you how our past situations in different lives, a lot of the time that we don't even know consciously, can impact our current experience. So I'm going to share what came through just with a lens of the lessons. I'll share a little bit of I'll share a lot of the vivid images that came through, but really what I pulled from them. It was really beautiful, and it was also really enlightening to some energies that I feel are impacting me now. And now I have a place to look, to uncover some areas of my life that need some love. So in a past life regression session, you are essentially walk through hypnosis. It is a guided practice, and the hypnosis practitioner, the hypnosis guide, leads you into a beautiful state of relaxation. And then you are brought typically to a hallway with different doors, and you walk up to the door that is most meant for you right now, intuitively. And in this past life regression, I was led to a portal, number 5. And I immediately knew that this was 5 lifetimes ago. And it was interesting in this one because my past life doorway essentially was not even a door. It was a curtain. And I could literally just lift up the curtain by using my hands in the visualization and lifting it up. And I could see the past life immediately. And what this told me subconsciously was that these lessons are coming through into my life now. They are floating out of that curtain into my life. There is no door. It is just a little curtain that can be lifted at any time, which was a really beautiful experience. So immediately when I was walked through, I found myself rocking back and forth. And it was a little, actually, felt like it could be nauseating. And I realized that I was on a boat. And I looked down at my shoes. They were these wooden clogs. I looked at my outfit, and it was a well-off outfit. The boat was wooden, as all boats are, I think, or at least at that time. And we were rocking, and I was pregnant. And I was not happy to be on this boat. When I tuned in, I found out my age was 22, and my name was Cassandra. I had a son, Johan. I had a husband, Wilford, and he was an upper-class British man. And these were all feelings and knowings that I had. I saw them in visions. I saw us interacting. I saw myself being very seasick while being pregnant. And I could really tune into the energy of what was going on. We were then brought to our first important experience in that lifetime. And this doesn't mean it was the first actual important experience, but the first experience that we needed to know while going through that regression. And I was at the age of 6. My parents were immigrants to Britain. And they were so elated because an arranged marriage between me at the age of 6 and an older British man, Wilford, was being arranged. It was very unusual for immigrants' daughters to be bestowed this honor. And at that time, at the age of 6, I was confused. I was like, why am I supposed to marry this old man? He was, I think, in his 30s at that point, but I viewed that as a very old man at the age of 6, of course. And at that moment, I felt like my life was completely out of control. And that never went away in this lifetime. In past life regressions, we are then led to the immediate moments before death. You might explore different experiences, you might explore different things, but in the way that I am taught and the ones that I've done that have been the most profound, we are led to the moment before our death. And I wanted to also give a trigger warning that there is death by suicide in my experience in this past life. So I want to just honor if anyone has trauma regarding suicide, regarding drowning or water. This might be a good time for you to pause and take care of yourself and to not listen to the rest. But I feel it's really important to share what came forward because it was profound. So before my time of death, I was pregnant again at the age of 26. I was miserable on this boat. We had been on this boat for at least 4 years. And there were times where we had gotten off, but then got back on almost immediately. I don't know the reason, and it wasn't important for me to know that. And right before my death, I was having a large breakdown. This was due to many factors. I had had a lot of mental instability throughout my life. I had received the insight that there was some chemically imbalanced things going on within my brain. And I was fighting. I was fighting with my husband. I was screaming on the boat. People were watching. My sons were terrified. I had 2 sons at that point, and I was pregnant with another son. And everyone was terrified because I was screaming that I wanted to die. I didn't want to live. And there was a huge fight that ensued, and I kept trying to jump off the boat. And every time I would try, someone would restrain me. And they calmed me down for a moment. And then everyone went to bed. And at that time, I figured it was my chance to go away, to not be there any longer. And I went to the edge of the boat. I had the feeling I am free. And in the dark of the night, I jumped off that boat. Initially, I was calm. So calm. And then as the reality of what I had done started to sink in, I realized that I actually wanted to live. And that's what I was fighting for the entire time. It wasn't that I wanted to die or to not live. It's that I wanted to live. And I didn't see a way how to do that. And as I started to become overcome with that fact, I started to struggle. I started to fight. I started to swim. And then I started to truly drown. No one could hear me. And I faded into the abyss, struggling. The point at which I died, I watched as my soul left my body. I watched her look back with so much love for the human who just didn't know her way. And as I was looking at that beautiful vessel that was no longer alive, I decided in that moment as a soul, I am coming back to Earth. Not in this lifetime, but soon. I knew immediately that I had not done what I came to do yet. And I wasn't supposed to in that lifetime. But I would get another chance. I would get many other chances. So we decided that, and I say we as my soul and also source, that I would come back. And then I faded into light. And the light that I faded into seems different than what I would imagine. It was like how I imagine a shooting star looks like up close, where all this light beams and then it fades into the abyss. And as I faded into the abyss, I felt so much love. I felt so much connection. I felt the energies of other souls who had walked the path along with me. I felt supported. I felt guided. And I knew my truth in that moment. That I am infinite. That the other side is not what we conceptualize in many ways, but it's also very much what we believe, or what I believe as a human. It doesn't look like the human form where we see all the souls surrounding us, at least not in this experience. But the energies are there, and they're not separate from us. I felt the love of my ancestors. I felt the love of my dad. They call it a soul group, that we travel through time and space with a group of souls. And even though I didn't have the experience of knowing who the energy was of my husband and my 3 sons in that lifetime, I do not believe that they were souls I have met in this time or in this lifetime yet. But I know they are part of my soul group, whoever they are. And I did feel my father's presence, my dad's presence in the other side, which is really not even the other side. It's just, there's no side. It's just the all-encompassing one energy. And I was so held in that space. Everything made sense. Everything from the lifetime that I had just lived made sense. Everything that I had experienced before that and after it was all one. And it was beautiful. Beautiful doesn't even begin to cover it, but it's the only thing that I can muster up as a human to explain the experience. And what came forward in that lifetime was two profound lessons that I wanted to share here. Number one was there's many times in our life where we feel like we have absolutely no control. Having that experience of arranged marriage at the age of 6, that kind of led the way of me feeling like I had absolutely no control over my life. And the idea of control is really interesting because there are some things we have absolutely no control over. I see that in this life. I don't have control over the fact that I've had 2 dads pass away before I turned 28. I have no control over the fact, in the sense of the human form, that I was adopted. And that led to its own abandonment, wounding. And on the other end of that, we also chose so much of our experience. We chose so many circumstances in which we want to learn our lessons. And we also control the actions that we take in this lifetime. And bringing forward the lessons from past life regressions is so powerful because then we can see what we didn't do in another lifetime and what we did do and bring forward the wisdom and the lessons there. So even just the fact that I was very abundant in that past lifetime, that's an experience that I have had before. And I can tune into that energy because that abundance came just by me doing absolutely nothing. The other important lesson is that I want to live. I truly want to live. I want to live my life in a way that brings me joy, that feels purposeful, that is contributing to the greater experience of what it means to be a human at this point in time, exactly right now. We chose to come here, all of us. If you are listening to this, we chose to come here in this moment for some reason. And I don't think that needs to boil down to a life purpose because I think we have a purpose just in being here. Yeah, we might have a work that we want to do or a creation we want to bring forward or relationships that we want to have. And I think our purpose is just living, truly living. And I just know from my own experience of being on this active spiritual healing for over a decade now that there was so many times in my life where I was not living. I was just dying. Just another day closer to death. Not another day spent in living. And I have done so much work to truly live, to truly be here now. And that journey is never done. But I am so excited for the adventure of what that journey is. And I want to just leave you with this message that I need more than anyone. We only get to live one life in this exact human vessel. We only get to experience ourselves once exactly as we are right now. Yes, we have other past lives and future lives that will be lived, but they will not be the same as this one. They will be vastly different in many ways. So how do we honor the uniqueness of this current experience? How do we honor the fact that we only live here on this point in earth right now with all the people that are alongside us right here? How do we live with purpose in this moment, in this lifetime? I know that there's so many people out there, and I've definitely felt this too, that feel like there's, it's same shit, different day. But that's a choice that we make. That is truly a choice. I made that choice for a very long time, and I am done with making that choice. And my life is like a love letter to myself, because I am done with feeling like everything's set in stone and I know exactly how it's going to turn out, because how boring is that? You only get to live this life experience once. Why not live it with love? Why not live it with joy? Why not do your best every single day to do something that feels good and joyful and makes you feel like you are doing something that honors you and honors your life? That is my wish for you. To honor your life here and now. Not even to get caught up in past life regressions and all the future things and past things. Like, we don't even need to do that. It's a beautiful experience, and it can lead to insights. And I, as a past life regressionist, and all the work that I do with Akashic Records and breathwork and chakra clearing and all the things, sometimes I just realize I don't even need to do it. I just have to be here now. I'm sending you so much love, and thanks for listening as I shared this story, shared this experience. I love you, and I am honored to walk this earth alongside you. I will see you and catch you on the next one. If this episode resonated with you, I invite you to share it on your Instagram stories and tag me at Erin Panzarella and the show at Energetic Perspectives, and share it directly with a loved one who will resonate too. Subscribe to the show to automatically receive the downloads so you never miss an episode. If you are loving the transmission shared here, I'd so love if you rate Energetic Perspectives 5 stars and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. If you screenshot your review and DM it to me on Instagram, you'll be gifted a discount on one of my single sessions as a token of my deep gratitude. Send in questions to the podcast by recording a voice note on erinpanzarella.com/podcast, and I'll tap into an answer from the Akashic Records, provide on-the-spot quantum leap coaching, or answer any questions about me and my work. Select submissions will get featured on the podcast too. I would love to keep connecting on Instagram. Connect with me at Erin Panzarella and the show at Energetic Perspectives. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for tuning into the show.